Yeah, getting ready for the web show.
Beep, 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 beep. Oh, he's here. Yo!
Hey, Kevin, it's Matt. Let me out.
Dope, come up.
Yeah, going to Kevin's for the web show. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey!
We're on, we're happening.
Bam! It's, Funniness is a Warm Gun with, me, Matt Orchard.
And me, Kevin D.
You might notice that, we're on video now. Boom, boom.
What's up? Audio and video.
Audio and video going
Upgraded.
on.
Feeling good about this.
I'm not,
Well.
because, it took us fucking, an accumulated 9-10 hours.
Probably, yeah.
Well, this is why I've been here. Like, that's not even counting me going away and you working on it.
And me tuning it over in my sleep and diagrams.
Supposed to be like, are we supposed to have
Finally got it.
Are we supposed to have a background at the moment?
Oh, where are we?
We're in Sydney, but the curtains.
What? In Sydney, you say?
Yeah. Curtains all shut though, so I can't see Sydney. Oh, boom! There you go.
We're in Sydney, Australia.
We've got one of those fancy light things where like the light goes out and covers the window. But
It's called a teleporter.
yes, that's what it's called.
We just teleported into Sydney.
And we're filming this at 10 PM, but it's still the daytime through the window, so magic, cool.
There you go.
We'll get plenty more of that in the coming weeks. So yeah, we've had massive webcam issues. We're actually supposed to be doing this live at the moment. That was the initial plan.
Yeah.
Not possible at all. Hopefully we'll figure that out in the future. For now though, we don't actually have any viewers. We haven't got a following yet.
So it doesn't need to be live.
Yeah, putting this up on YouTube after the fact isn't going to make a single difference. But in the future, if we do get viewers, we'd like them to be able to tweet in and stuff.
But for now, if you found the video, so you're watching it, so enjoy it for what it is. And if you want to get through us, I don't know, email or we'll work something out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are on Google Plus at the moment, so if you look under Funniness is a Warm Gun, you'll find us there.
Yep.
And likewise on YouTube.
Now, for people who don't, because this is technically the third episode, the first two have been audio only, but for people who, who are new to the show, i.e. anybody, basically we like to go over the week's events, talk about them, talk about other miscellaneous subjects.
Yep. Basically just whatever's come to our forefront, whatever we see in the world is what we discuss, whether or not we know anything about it.
Yeah. And it's called Funniness is a Warm Gun because it was supposed to be a comedy podcast, but we were kind of talking about that. Like, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. I guess I'm a comedian, so that's why we made it a comedy, but it really is more of a, like, you know...
It's a variety kind of...
We try and lighten things up when we can.
Opinion piece.
Yeah, but it's not always necessarily guaranteed to be, hilarious or anything.
But always informative.
Always informative.
And always 100% our opinion and point of view, so can't get much realer than that.
Absolutely.
Let's get on to our first topic. So we've been kind of brainstorming of what we're going to talk about.
Last time, because we're doing it fortnightly, Phillips and Hoffman had just died.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, is he still dead?
Yeah, he is. He is. Best wishes to his family and friends. But shortly after we recorded about that death, someone else died, this time on Australian shores. Charlotte Dawson. Well, a lot of people have died in the last week. But,
This is true.
Charlotte Dawson's the only famous person that I'm aware of who died.
Who is Charlotte Dawson? I'm not even sure who she is.
That's the funny thing about her, is that she's one of those... Technically, I think she was a model.
Right.
Not recently, because she...
Doesn't look like a model.
Yeah, well, she got older, she was over 40, but she branched out into, hosting TV shows and everything.
Yeah, right. What show was she hosting?
I know when I was in New Zealand, there
It's
was
like a dancing one or a singing one or something?
Or maybe she was in Australian Idol or Australia's Got Talent.
One of those.
I forget. But she killed herself, and I was just saying to Kevin before the podcast, not podcast, before the web show.
Web TV.
Web TV, is that what we call it? Web TV show?
That's our new buzzword.
Before I was telling about, because as I mentioned, I do stand-up comedy, and I was trying some stuff out because I had massive writer's block, because I've taken like a month or so off, and you know, I was trying to think of anything, and I was going over, and Charlotte Dawson just killed herself, and I was trying to write anything, so I wrote some jokes about
Right, how'd it go?
Dawson. It actually went okay. I mean, I was worried about it because it was really insensitive to the whole...
And very soon.
Very soon, but you've got to be topical.
Just
and I don't like people who just, like, be offensive and, you know, just for the sake of it.
Yep.
But I was just trying to write anything, and it's what I was able to come up with. So the joke was basically... It's not actually...
Tell me, I haven't heard it.
Alright, and I'm warning you in advance, it's not very good. It was just like, I was just trying to write something, and it happened to go okay at the open mic place, but I still think it's actually funny. But the joke was that, you know Charlotte Dawson was just killed herself, and maybe seen that in the news, guys, yeah. You know, it is very sad, but I saw that a bunch of her friends have gotten together, and they've decided to launch, like, kind of a campaign, like, in her memory,
right,
against
foundation,
against cyberbullying.
Right.
And that's nice, but, you know, if someone kills themselves over mean tweets, wouldn't it be better to make a campaign against something else, like being a fucking pussy, for instance? I said that, and okay, when I said that on the night, everyone was kind of like, ooh, and they weren't really laughing at that point. But what I then did is like, okay, look, I know that's pretty bad and insensitive and everything, but I'm not taking it back. And when I said I'm not taking it back, then they kind of turned they got on the side of it, because like, you acknowledged that it was a bit out there, and then went, but you know what, I'm doubling down on it. Is when I doubled down and they were okay with it.
It's when you hold your ground.
Yeah, and I made a few other jokes about kind of our financial situation and everything. But it needs to be worked on. I think there's like things in there that we worked on. Do we actually have a timer for? Yeah, sorry, we'll try and keep it to an hour. I just wanted to go through it.
But what I found interesting is, so she was on one of these judging either at singing or dancing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she was presumably judging the audience, and as soon as she was the one that was being judged, she couldn't handle it. She topped herself. So, like, you give what you expect to receive.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know if she was overtly mean. Maybe she was.
Maybe she wasn't.
Following the career. If she was like Simon Cowell, though, then but she wasn't like that, I'm sure. But yeah, and I think that's what some of the Twitter people said to her. You know, how mean was it? Do you know, like, were they like fucking killing yourself, like, or were they just like, oh, you're a hypocrite? Like, how?
What was it over? What was sparked the whole thing?
Well, she started a campaign against bullying, and then people started like...
Oh, really? And then she...
got bullied on Twitter and everything. Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Well, I don't know if that led to her demise specifically. It was, she had depression and everything. It was
But imagine, so she's saying, yeah, bullying sucks, stop bullying, and then she starts getting bullied, and then that ends it.
Yeah, it's
there's a touch of double irony in that.
Yeah.
There you go.
It is sad, though. I mean, when I caught her, I'm joking. It is sad until... Obviously, it's a chemical imbalance and everything like that.
But maybe this brought some light to the topic, and maybe the foundation, whatever, is going to do something to get cyberbullying. But having said that, cyberbullying is not a thing. When you walk outside in the street and you get bullied, who's going to stop that?
Well, yeah, it's just like, it's not exactly a new phenomenon. It's just bullying's always been around, and now it's on the internet because we're in a wide age.
And idiots they're getting bullied and they're just staying on there.
And no one's going to, and we're never going to stop bullying. If you have kids, you don't think they're going to bully other kids at school.
It's survival of the fittest.
Yeah, you put it that way. It's just human nature, and people pick on people. Even adults do that.
Yeah.
It's never, I'm not saying it's not bad, but...
you can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen in one form or another. Why not just be regulated where it's safe on the net?
Yeah, it'd be better just to, figure out how to help kids that are being bullied as opposed to, try to stop bullying, which is never going to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. No, that's exactly the point.
Mm.
You can't stamp it out. You push your energy to somewhere else.
Mm.
But at the moment, the safest place is online.
Mm.
How many people lose their lives or have to alter what they're doing because they're getting bullied in real life, face to face, and they're scared of violence or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
It's better off putting them on a platform where it's online, and if they're smart enough to switch off, they switch off.
Mm.
Or they ignore it or whatever.
How much is enough to look at the camera, do you reckon? Do you think we should be trying to look at the camera throughout this entire show? Or?
It's a bit different.
Because we've been looking at each other for certain parts. For a viewer, that's not good, tuning to see two people facing each other.
It is weird.
But at the same time, if we talk yes, that's right, Kevin. I don't know what the right amount is. Maybe just kind of glancing up at it.
Yeah, I've been looking at reading shit around.
Let's we'll just wing this and we'll.
If anyone is watching,
afterwards.
we'll watch it back and like kind of figure it out ourselves. But if anyone is watching it and can let us know,
yeah,
how much is too much?
Yeah,
just in general. So that's that. I don't really want to talk too much more about Charlotte Dawson because, like I said before, I really don't know too much about it. You've enlightened me on some of the topics, but let's move on to.
Well, speaking of looking into the camera,
yeah,
you know who isn't guilty of looking directly into the camera when they shouldn't be? People who win Academy Awards because they're good at acting, and you're not supposed to do that
unless you're breaking the fourth wall. That's the shit.
Leonardo DiCaprio did look into the camera for Wolf of Wall Street. I take that back, but he didn't win an Oscar.
There you go. Cut it out, Leo.
Yeah, that's it. And Marty Scorsese for getting him to do that.
But he was looking through the camera, but the other way.
Now you, Kevin, you haven't been following the Oscars. Have you seen?
I know one thing about the Oscars this year, and that's Ellen DeGeneres had a tweet, a picture, a pic tweet or whatever the fuck they call it, that broke Twitter. Got retweeted like 1.5 million times.
So much that Twitter fell apart.
Yeah, the whole Twitter just collapsed because
You're
of
not
this
gonna
one
be there
photo.
anytime soon.
That's the only thing I know about the Oscars.
What was it? Was it the selfie with like
a bunch of people?
Yeah. That was a cool selfie. But
Who was it?
It was
Charlotte
Ellen
Dawson?
DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres, Brad Pitt was in there, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, and there were others.
Decent.
Yeah, for a selfie, it's pretty
Was
good.
it set up or was it just like she just gathered some people and took a photo?
See, to me, on the angle, like Bradley Cooper was actually taking the photo, but maybe he took the photo on his phone, and then that's what I have to assume.
She's got more followers.
That's pretty cool. I'm not hugely into celebrity culture, but it is like really funny. I mean, I am a little, but I'm not going to be a total hypocrite. But I mean, I'm not like a massive celebrity culture, but like having like a selfie picture with that many like A-list celebrities, it is kind of cool.
Especially at an award show for something that is a visual medium, and then pushing out a pic tweet, which is again a visual medium.
But you haven't seen any of the Oscar-nominated films, the main ones. It was Dallas Buyers,
Gravity.
Gravity.
Lego Movie.
Frozen one was the animated film. I don't know if Lego Movie was even nominated. I think Lego Movie is probably like in 2014 category, so it's good in the next year for its nomination.
Yeah. I haven't seen any, like Wolf Creek and all that. Wolf Creek.
Wall Street.
Wall Street. I have seen Wolf Creek. Have you seen Wolf Creek? The Australian
The torture
slasher?
one.
Yeah.
Torture film.
It's not. It's psychological.
I've never watched any of the Saw or Hostel. I just
Right.
I've got nothing against violence in films, but I find films that are just about people being, extensively tortured, and that's pretty much the draw. I just don't see the appeal in that.
But if it's based on a true story, then there's no harm in telling the story.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying there's any harm in it. It's just not my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I have watched most of I haven't seen Gravity, which picked up quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen most of the other ones. There's one or two others that I haven't seen that were nominated. But I thought for once, because I usually, there's a bunch of controversial decisions in the Oscar night. I thought pretty much every Oscar that was given that I had seen the performance or I had seen the film or whatever, I thought they made the right decision essentially.
Okay.
Including Jared Leto. Do you know about Jared Leto?
Not by name, no.
Okay, he was in Dallas Buyers Club, and honestly, it must have been a good performance, because I fucking hate Jared Leto. He's got this stupid, pretentious band, and he's kind of like... He's a pretty... It's not a jealousy thing, like, I'm a fan of, I like Brad Pitt stuff, I like the characters, so I don't mind shits like you, but, like, with Jared Leto, as far as I was concerned, before seeing this film, I thought it was pretty much all he had going for him. It's really stupid rock band, it's pretentious as all hell, but it must have been a good performance, because after watching Dallas Buyers Club, I thought Jared Leto deserved the Oscar.
I'm looking at him right now, and I have no idea who he is.
He basically he played a kind of transsexual. Transsexual is when you want to be the opposite sex, right? That's not when you just dress like the opposite sex.
It's when you are, I think.
Yeah, when you are. So yeah, he played like a guy who's now a girl, and he got the mannerisms and everything. Like, perfect.
Yeah, right.
Really, really good performance. And I tweeted...
Did Philip Seymour get in it?
I haven't seen the Oscars. I don't... You know how we're talking about the Lego Movie gets nominated for next year? Because it's like released at a certain time.
Yeah.
I might be totally wrong. I think because Philip Seymour Hoffman died in 2014, he won't actually get his in memoriam clip until 2015 when we were in that bracket.
But then by then, everyone's gotten over this bad of him dying, and
Yeah.
it's going to be somebody else.
But I mean, this year I think it was like James Gandolfino, Peter O'Toole, and like Norman Phillips and because he doesn't qualify for the
Awful.
memoriam this time round. I don't know if that's true, but
Oh, well, it sounds like it's plausible.
Jared Leto, when he was doing his second speech, I tweeted something quite funny. I wanted to share this because I thought it was quite clever.
Alright.
Where is you?
So
fucking-
this is where he got his award, or when his nomination was announced.
Yeah, because he was wearing a white suit,
Right.
which I thought like everyone else is dressed in like black tuxedos and everything.
Yeah, right.
So I said, Jared Leto must be stoked. He shows up thinking he's just on bathroom attendant duties, and he ends up winning a fucking Oscar
Oh,
because he
yeah.
was wearing a white suit. I'm clever. Yeah.
Plug your tweet handle.
At Real Mad Orchard.
There you go.
I don't actually tweet that much, so yeah, you can still follow me.
Matt with 2 T's.
That's the case. Make all important.
Yeah, and actually, something that has stayed regular since our audio to audio visual transition is our sponsors.
Well, no, our sponsors haven't stayed regular.
Oh, that yeah.
We
Our actual sponsors haven't, but the slots have always been there.
well, we need money.
But now
We know we're going to do this for free.
but our previous sponsors, we can't really talk about them, but they're no longer.
They're
affiliated with
assholes.
us.
They came and they go. They came and they went. They
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we want to support what you're doing." One tough week with no listeners,
And then they
go, "Oh, you got to be in it for the long haul."
Yeah,
So, fuck you, finger food flavor gloves.
yeah, and those other jerks.
Who are the other ones? Fuck you, Beat Smart.
Oh, they're the worst.
And from the week prior,
Yeah.
fuck you, Whiskey Bird. And
My bad, I'm just pressing buttons here, and that's how you can tell that we don't really know what we're doing. I just put up a slide.
but the other one, fuck them too. There was another sponsor
Whiskey
that
Bird.
dropped us. No, I already mentioned Whiskey Bird. There was one on the same week as Whiskey Bird.
Oh, those motherfuckers.
Gather. Fuck you too.
Fuckers.
Are you supposed to keep the finger up here, like when you, or is it just like that?
When Gabba's involved, like, just throw them all up. 10 fingers.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on how to put.
So, this week, we're excited by our 2 new sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
They actually approached us just when we made the announcement that we're going to this visual medium.
Mhm.
They definitely wanted to get on board. And again, there is synergy there because I quite like this product. They sent us out the beta items. I tried one of them. Like, I don't want to ruin the surprise or what it is.
Yeah.
But I used it and I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Well,
So
put the ad up on the screen and we'll run the audio as well.
all right. So
Simple issues.
here they are.
Okay. So I'll just get the audio. I'll just pop the audio recording in so it can. Do you have a webcam? But you're annoyed because your fucking webcam won't do what it's supposed to do and it's a piece of shit. Well, don't worry, because now you have Webcam Hammer. Whenever your fucking webcam isn't doing what it's supposed to do, you can get the webcam hammer and smash the shit out of the cunting camera and throw it out the fucking window. And now you don't have to worry about your webcam being a piece of shit anymore because it's broken and it's known as doesn't. So, visit webcamhammer.com.
Thank you, Webcam Hammer. Yeah, they're
Awesome products.
Yeah,
Wow, awesome ad too.
yeah.
They didn't have a jingle.
No, but what they
Ah.
lacked there, they made up for in
Right.
product quality.
Okay. Do you want to? Maybe they do have a jingle. I think we just cut the audio recording.
Oh, did it not
to
play
put-
through?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Put the thing up again, and we'll get the
Alright, let me just plug you. Hang on.
webcam hammer.
It's hammer time
Boom boom.
for your webcam. Yeah, so I don't know how that
Yeah, good jingle.
was left off the original
Yeah,
ad, but
good jingle though.
yeah.
I couldn't have done it.
No, and it's something that it probably should have been broken.
Okay. So
Another
thanks,
crazy
guys.
thing. This is something that I want to talk
Please
about.
buy
Actually.
their product. Go.
Facebook, their latest acquisition of the WhatsApp app.
No, nothing about it.
So you know what Facebook is, yeah?
Yeah, I know Facebook.
And you know their conglomerate is all about just trying to get the monopoly and try to get people onto their datas and just keeping them there, locking them in. So the latest thing they've done is they've acquired WhatsApp, which is basically an app people can message and do whatever the hell they want for free.
Okay.
So other people anywhere across the world through the internet, not through the phone service or whatever. So it's all free no matter where they are.
I'm paying for the data though.
Presumably.
And some people have unlimited text.
Yeah, definitely. I don't understand WhatsApp. I don't understand. The only thing that I like is that you can make groups and send them out to a group, like a mailing list, basically, like an email mailing list. It's through WhatsApp.
Okay.
And it's blown up. It's a huge thing, and it's so huge now that Facebook have bought it for $16 billion. $16 billion just for a company.
It doesn't seem a bit steep.
The company doesn't even do anything. WhatsApp doesn't do anything. All they do, well, their innovation is having that platform where people come into it.
Is that actually an innovation though? Because I swear to God, even back in like the early 2000s, there were like computer programs which could send text messages.
Definitely.
I'm sure before WhatsApp, someone had an application that could send text messages, or it's essentially a glorified messenger, isn't it? It's like an IM client.
Yep, absolutely.
Is there any difference fundamentally between that and an IM client?
There's not. So there's a few.
Can't you do that on Facebook already? You message someone on Facebook and they get their message on their phone.
Yep, absolutely.
What?
The only thing, like I said, the only thing that they've brought to the table is that this is the platform where everyone goes to. It's like it's the name. It's like if you want to do this, the best people to do it is WhatsApp. Just like if you want a social network, the main people to do it is Facebook.
I think it's stupid. I think you waste your money. You wasted your money marked down work.
Oh, definitely.
And if I had stocks in Facebook, I would sell them because I think
Facebook is definitely going down. Like okay, so Google they buy companies to make their other products better and to help, like, for the better of society, to help us grow. Facebook, what they're trying to do, or Zuckerberg or whatever his name is basically trying to get everybody locked into their system. And then once they're there, they can do whatever they want with it. Just like Facebook was free and they started putting ads. What they're going to do now is everyone's on WhatsApp and they're going to start making like payments through this. People can start to buy stuff through WhatsApp. And once they start to do that, they've got everyone's data and they've got everyone's comfortable on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need ads anymore. They'll just take a cut of that payment. That is exactly where it's going, and it's not only in the States, but in like the European regions and in the Asian countries. That's what they do. There's apps like Kik and iLive or WeLive or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's what they do. It's known that if you go somewhere, instead of giving them cash, you can just fire up this app. This is your store, and this is whatever you pay the money. A cut of that goes to people. Facebook's all this. They're like, we want in on that.
Evil.
So they spent $16 billion just to get these platforms, not even new, exactly, so they can lock people in and just get the monopoly before anyone else does it. It's just ridiculous. Spending that much amount of money just so you can make more money, there's nothing right about that.
No, okay, Mark Zuckerberg. He must be lying.
I don't know who made or who developed the platform or WhatsApp or whatever, but and $16 billion, you can't deny it.
Hey, the Flappy Bird guy, speaking of money, like, you know, he took his head down and he didn't sell it.
No.
How much do you think that must be worth quite a lot of money if he wanted to sell it?
Yeah, it would have helped. He was getting $50K a day on ad revenue.
He was personally getting that money?
Yeah.
Because he owned everything, right?
Yep.
And again, little fucking pussy, couldn't take the pressure.
Yeah, and that was the same shit, cyberbullying. A bunch of people...
Were people actually bullying him? He just seemed to be throwing a bunch of numbers about nothing. Like, I can't take it anymore. You can't take what? People playing a game and getting frustrated by it?
Exactly.
Do they know where you live?
They didn't know him, that's the problem. They were just like, oh, whoever made this is a fuckhead. Not even knowing like he's a real person, not even caring he's a real person. But he took that shit personally, and then all of a sudden he's like, almost grabbed to top himself as well.
Mm.
So that's...
I guess, but if you're making $50K a day, and like you're making that for several days, like several weeks, you have over $1 million.
50K is like 15 million a year if it kept on.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So people have a right to, like, they don't have a right to.
I can't imagine though, he probably already gotten enough money there. It doesn't really matter. Like, he banked $1 million, maybe $2 million. I don't know how long he was getting that 50K.
Have you played the game?
Really briefly on my phone.
So you know what it is, basically. It's actually, it's almost a direct port of You could?
That's just what you know.
Yeah. It's basically a direct port of this other game. I forget what the game's called, but it's basically the same thing. There's a bird with big lips and he's going up and down.
Oh, so he's a coward and a thief.
Yeah, so he took that, he took the IP from that, and then he took the graphics from like Nintendo stuff, put it all together, and found the formula and it worked.
You deserve to, boy.
But the app is or the game, should I say, is it's clever in the way like the time delays and the messaging around it. Like he made it so it is addictive. So he's a clever developer, but I mean, if you got that talent, you come up with something original, and then people bully you, and you're like, well, you know, bully this. This is my original work and get money for it. I think he felt the heat because he was getting bullied, and he knew that it should have been, or he can see why it was justified because it wasn't his ideas or even his original IP.
Yeah.
So that's that. But imagine getting 50k a day on ad revenue.
What would you buy?
Ludicrous. What's that?
What would you buy?
What's that?
Oh, you buy WhatsApp, right?
Just to close it down and get it out of Zuckerfuck scenes.
WhatsApp.
I don't know,
Hey,
50k a day, what would you get?
You should spend it every day.
Speedboat?
I don't know that bloody.
Schapelle.
I buy an HTC phone to replace my broken screen one right now because I don't want to go Samsung.
So next week we'll approach HTC for sponsorship.
I could buy a few phones actually.
You
Yeah, that's a good. In fact, we've already plugged you, so
If
why don't you
anyone
send
from
us money?
HTC is watching, we're ready to.
We don't even just sign the papers, just send us money now. We already plugged you.
Yeah,
Already
done.
done deal.
Done. So that's that. Do you have any other apps to watch for, or any other games which suck or have been stolen? Or
Application.
I saw this, you know, Hello Kitty. Like that's another huge franchise, a conglomerate. But I like Hello Kitty, like the idea and the community around it.
What's the idea of Hello Kitty? It's just mind cat on who you put in bags and stuff.
Hello Kitty, yeah, well that's the logo, and it's a very simple logo. But the idea is like about friendship and love. So Hello Kitty like gets friends and stuff. Like, you never see little it or her or whatever it is with Bazooka. It's always happy stuff
Oh, so, yeah.
for the kids. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've coming out. They have come out. That's my grammar. With a new game where it's basically like Mario Kart for your Hello Kitty. So yeah, that's where it goes.
Have you seen the South Park game?
No.
The South Park, because they did a bunch of games, and most of them suck because they're just made by the production company that cash in on South Park.
Yeah.
But this is one that Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who actually like video games, they've been hands-on, instrumental in making it. And it's essentially a really big episode of South Park, and you can just be a character in it. Like it looks exactly like an episode of South Park, and you can walk through the town and meet all the other kids and do all these. It's like they've described it as, do you know Skyrim?
No.
Skyrim is this massive RPG, like very popular massive RPG, and they describe it as basically Skyrim except it's South Park.
Is it on mobile devices or?
No, it's going to be on like
Xbox,
Xbox and PlayStation 3. So it's not the new generation of consoles. They might port it to the new consoles though. It'd be good if they did.
What? Oh right. So it's new, but it's not on One or 4. Xbox One or PlayStation 4.
No, it's not.
Crazy. Why release it if you're not going to?
Well, because they made it during they were making it during the past several years, and there were tons of delays. And by the time it's already been done. First ones. But they might be able to port it for PS4, so it's going to be like PS3 quality, but you may be able to get it on PS4.
That's where the money is, because if you're selling 360 or PS3 games now, you've got to sell it for a third of the price.
For what?
If you're going to release a game, say you release a 360 game, you can't sell it for like $90. No one's going to buy it because you expect the generation back to be like cheaper game.
For the first year or two after a new console's released, I guess most people are still using those ones, so you might be able to keep it somewhat static.
I don't think you can walk into a game shop and get a 360 or a PS3 game for more than $70.
Okay, maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm not much of a gamer since my foot moved out of it, but the timer, I'm trying to make sure. The timer says 28, but I swear to God it was 26 more than 2 minutes ago. Is that an accurate representation of how I've been on?
Oh, time slows down when you
when you've got shitty topics and you're doing very well. No.
But what a lovely day in Sydney. Look at this.
Oh wow.
How's the serenity?
Good.
So yeah, that's that. I don't really know what else we can talk about on this topic.
On topic of
I don't even know we have a topic with
video
this
games.
randomly. How do we get to video games? Hello Kitty, South Park. Oh, our audio's out.
Oh, it just gets better and better. Nah, it's not bad. I can't hear anything.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think I heard something. Yep, we're back. We're back. Professionalism. Now, that was just a preview to the shit that we've been putting up with.
Can we talk some more about that? Because we spent motherfucking hours on that.
Literally.
It was like 8 hours the first day straight trying to get stuff to work.
Yeah.
And then I tinkered around with it after you went for
Yeah.
another maybe 2.5.
Yeah.
I've been working out some
Any
schematics.
improvement, by the way?
No, it's all fucking backwards. Excuse my language, but this is I'm not comfortable talking about this.
The things we do to make...
Bring this to you.
Yeah.
I
I.e. nobody.
I hope somebody...
We're not appreciated.
appreciates it.
Yeah, fucking it's the least you could do is watch it.
Story of our lives,
After
right?
all that. Oh, God.
All this effort.
And we don't even really know what the problem is as well. Why does the audio just cut out for no reason? Do you know why it did that?
I think there's not enough power going to the USB.
Oh, great.
But
Great.
why not? There's only one thing plugged into that. So why not just give it enough power?
I'm a USB and enough power.
And then yesterday it was the
webcam.
yeah, which
No.
we dealt with.
I'm glad we have that sponsor, by the way. That's going to come in handy. I'm pointing, not you, the audience, I'm pointing at you, webcam. Fuck you. And
Oh, well, that's a new webcam. It's his brother who went down.
fuck your brother. This is actually a different one from the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one's in little pieces after it felt the wrath of the hammer.
I don't know you used it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suggest everybody else who has webcam issues go and use.
And every other webcam, take heed.
Mm.
Speaking of sponsors, I need to cool down, so let's get another sponsor on. This is our second sponsor for this week, who've been kind enough to help us out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good people. I think you personally know them, right? The manufacturers.
Yes, which is why they won't be dropping us. They'll be sticking around next week, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
And if not, may I be struck down by lightning. But yeah, I know the guy who runs it. He's a health freak, and he helps us.
To help. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's bring them on.
Okay, I'll just let's put on the audio to the end. Pre-recorded. Do you like water?
Yeah.
But you're afraid of getting fluoride in your water because the government puts it in there to keep the populace stupid and make us unhealthy?
You know that.
Well, you're right to be concerned, but be concerned no longer because now you have Upside Down Umbrella. Upside Down Umbrella. It's an umbrella that you put upside down. Upside Down Umbrella is an umbrella that you put upside down. Now, when it's raining, you can go out and get fresh water, which is from vapor that's come off the sea, so it's totally clean, and the government hasn't put fluoride in it. Jeez. So you can get that water and then put it in a glass and drink it, and you'll be fine. Upside Down Umbrella, the same thing as last time. UpsideDownUmbrella.com to buy your Upside Down Umbrella. Enjoy it, it's good. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
those guys.
That's good.
So that's like innovation, but it's also like social good.
Mm-hmm.
Zuckerberg, get on that.
Yeah.
Where's their 16?
Buy them for $16 billion.
16 stacks their way.
And then send some of that money to us for the sponsorship.
But I do like the fact that it's when I first heard Upside Down Umbrella, I thought it was just literally an umbrella that's upside down. I'm like, well, how's it going to work for you? Like,
no, but it actually gets the water and funnels it through there.
So it works like an umbrella because it stops it coming down, but then you also collect the rainwater.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And
two purposes.
If it's not raining and you're out of water, then you can drink wine.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, did I? It's good for the European market, where there's a lot of rain.
Yeah. It's been raining a lot in Sydney recently, so we could use it.
Do the majority of European places have fluoride in their water?
Yes.
You just saying that off the fly? Because I know Australia does. As you can tell, we're in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
This water here probably doesn't have fluoride in it down here. But we.
Oh, you get this whenever you can scoop it out of the. Yeah, so it doesn't actually need. Okay, that's a good idea.
But we have fluoride in our tap water. From what I can gather, and I have done a bit of research into it, is there was a deal struck up with another country, an external supplier, where they would give us fluoride to put into our water, but it wasn't a case-by-case basis. It was like, bam, give you like a 20-year block or whatever. So
I don't.
Stuck into it.
I don't really want to say this because I don't want the sponsor to not like us because we need their money. But okay, I'm going to say this isn't my opinion. But hypothetically, for the point of conversation, if it were my opinion, is fluoride proven to be a bad thing? Like, couldn't it be like, you know how they complain about chlorine being used like in H2 in America, but it's like chlorine is like on the periodic table, it's like what stops there from being disease in the water. Like, it's really just hippie nonsense.
Everything's useful, but the problem is if it's not in moderation.
First of all, is fluoride in our water definitely, or is it a conspiracy?
No, it definitely is.
It definitely is.
There's official listings and websites, and
all
they do is list the benefits.
And is it definitely bad for you, or is it a point of contention?
It's not bad for you. It's bad for you.
Hypothetically, because I know of course potential is horrible. But
if you brush your teeth with fluoride toothpaste,
yeah,
that's enough. That's moderation.
Yeah.
But when you start to drink tap water and you do this as well, it's like saying vitamin C is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like 2 jars of vitamin C, well, it'll send you over the edge.
But you'll never catch a cold.
Yep.
So maybe you should do that.
So yeah. So basically, they officially can't pull out of supplying water with fluoride. Which
I
sucks.
drink like a gallon a day. I drink a gallon of water a day. It's like maybe 5 liters or whatever. Like, that's over a gallon. Why am I not struggling with cancer, and why is my stomach not white like my teeth?
Well, it's not rat poison. Like, you're not going to just touch it and shrivel up. It's, if you've got something going on, then maybe it helps it along, or down the track maybe. But the thing is, you'll have pearly white teeth, but no body to go along with it. It's not as bad as what they say it is, but it's not good. And the problem that I have with it is they're trying to deceive people into saying that it's good, and they're the good guys for putting it in there. When all the evidence that they show us is that this is why it's good, why it's good, why it's good. They don't say, well, on the flip side, consider this. That's
Right.
not cool. The government or the fucking body that do it should give you both sides of the argument.
Okay.
I don't. Oh man, it's all bottled water over here.
Yeah. And water that you've gotten through your Upside Down Umbrella, which you can buy at upsidedownumbrella.com.
Yeah,
The people over there who I know personally.
great people.
And whose legitimacy in the product I would never question.
If anyone is
Yeah.
watching this and they've watched so far, and you have any thoughts about fluoride in your water, or you're from another country, you can enlighten us with the conditions over there.
Yep.
Find us, let us know.
Where can they tweet us?
Man, smoke signals or
They can't tweet us?
no, not
We
yet.
don't have Twitter? Okay.
I'll tell you what, if you hashtag
You
it
tweet
with
me.
funniness is a warm gun,
Uh-huh.
the abbreviation, so FIWAG,
Yeah.
with a hashtag at the front.
Mhm.
By tomorrow morning we'll pick it up.
Okay.
We'll set up an account.
Yeah.
You can search for the hashtag.
Yeah, and you can tweet at Real Metal Orchard. Anything that you tweet, I will get.
Yep.
And you can put the hashtag there. That's if you were to watch this. I don't know, maybe people won't watch it.
Or Google Plus. It's on YouTube. You can leave a comment.
People will watch it. What am I saying?
Hopefully,
Don't worry, sponsors.
with
People are going to see this.
This is going to get.
Your money's going to be well spent.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that money too.
Yeah. Good people.
When you're asked to hire an IT department.
We fucking need it.
Yeah.
Us two idiots trying to set this shit up. I think we kind of half got there. We got a recording with vision.
That's all I wanted. I mean, I know you really like the live stream idea, but seeing as it's not going to matter until we have an audience, that's, for the meantime, it doesn't really
True.
matter that we record it and put it up. It doesn't make a difference.
And that's something to shoot for, some plans.
It would be nice if the audio didn't cut out. But hey, it just goes to show it's like a mark of authenticity that you can see technical issues and all on funny issues of all gum.
We'll just keep going.
The truth,
Nothing can stop us.
nothing.
Not even glitches or gremlins.
Now you're going to educate me, Kevin, on an Australian event. Something that I think it actually happened during the last web show, but we didn't end up talking about. And
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
the girl, the drug smuggler.
Dave Schapelle Corby.
Yeah.
So, admittedly, I'll preface this by saying I don't know too much about this because there's nothing to know. Like, they don't release information. But Schapelle Corby was an Australian girl. I'm going to say Melbourne, but it could be way off the mark. I'm just saying it because that's what I think of when I think of drug smugglers. No offense. So
she went to smuggle the drugs?
She went to Bali and she got pulled up because she had a bodyboard bag full of dope. Right? And then she's like, the whole thing's full. Like, there's not even a bodyboard, isn't it?
Okay.
It's just like all compressed down so it looks like a bodyboard.
Now, before, because I don't know what happened next, I'm very misinformed about Australian news.
Yep.
But before we go on, let's say, okay, you're like a government official in an airport, whatever.
Yep.
Customs.
Customs.
Yep. You find a boogie board bag full of weed.
Yep.
What do you think is the appropriate punishment action after that?
No one would know. I'll just be higher for life.
That's what you do?
No.
Right?
Okay. Something like that, no matter what it is, if it happened overseas, she's an Australian resident, it should have been held. The court hearing should have been held in Australia.
But she didn't break Australia's law, she broke Bali's law.
Yeah.
She technically broke Australian law too, she smuggled it into Australia, but she smuggled it into Bali.
Okay, but maybe a condition of a visa or a holiday pass or whatever is that you fuck up, then you get dealt with it.
Well, let's say, okay, you go to Australian court, you're the Australian judge. What would you do? What would you be your punishment?
Abiding by the law, like, she gets what she gets. But I don't think it should be illegal. However, I don't think you should have a boogie board bag full of bud. A boogie board bag full of bud. Like, you shouldn't. A normal person.
I just buy it 50.
A normal person wouldn't go, let's get all this dope and jump the border. It's not something that a normal person deals with. So maybe like a shrink or something, see what the fuck is going on. Maybe she wanted to get caught. Maybe, and she's still holding up that she didn't do it. Like, someone gave her all this dope. For what purpose?
You know what I reckon? Execution.
Done.
That's what I'm going to go with. So what did the Bali government decide to do? What was their...
So she was locked up for almost 10 years. So I think
not
about
quite
9.5 years.
Okay.
There was talks of execution. There was talk of holding her for longer, and she got like the equivalent of bail. So she's allowed to go around the town, probably like with bracelets and shit on.
So she's not going to get executed?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
She can't come back to Australia.
You can't go into Bali, man.
So she's stuck. No, she's stuck in Bali.
Oh, she's out, but she's in Bali.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought
Correct.
that she was returned to Australia.
Won't let her. They won't let her out of the town. She's like next to the court or the jail or whatever on a tether. Done.
At least you can buy a lot of cheap DVDs, right? That's...
Yeah, and then so...
Did Bali have a lot of coups? That's Fiji, isn't it? Fiji have coups all the time. Bali's alright.
like parliamentary.
Yeah, people trying to overthrow the government. Does it happen in Bali a lot?
I'm not too familiar with
It happens in Fiji a lot, I know it has. At least it used to, maybe to sort their shit out. If you buy cheap DVD, they do as well.
No coincidence. There's like a direct correlation between the price of the DVDs and the political.
Hey, it's a good selling point, you know? Every country has their strengths.
Yeah. Some build electronics, some bootleg Beverly Hills Cop. But then maybe coincidentally, or maybe just for whatever reason, then so this other Australian girl, just after Schapelle Corby got out of lockdown or prison or whatever, this other Australian girl does the same thing. She's it could even be Bali as well.
Well, surely she got executed.
No, well, this is the thing. So she was already there, right? She didn't jump.
Toughen up, Bali. Honestly,
she didn't jump the border with stuff. she was staying at this hotel, and then she goes out, and then she comes back to the hotel because she forgot a towel or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole place is like flooded with MDMA. She's like, oh, you know about this. And then they're like, well, it's yours. Oh, you're Australian. Hey, Schapelle just got out of this room. You go fucking take her place. That was crazy.
And she, what, knows that she's in prison for now, or
Oh,
she's still there?
I think it's, definitely. But I think there's a lot worse for her. They showed leniency letting Dave Schapelle Corby out early. And now this other person just acts a jackass and does the same shit. They're going to be so much harder on her.
How is it worse for her, though? Because she's only in prison. Schapelle Corby was there for 10 years.
Yeah.
How is it worse for them, though?
She was doing MDMA. Well, she was holding MDMA, which is like a class, or 2 classes up from marijuana.
What drugs did you do?
Smuggling ones.
No, like, what drug, but you can't just say what drugs you had done, or is it too bad for that?
The thing is, I think a time and place for everything. If, say you've got a month off and you're in Bali, then have MDMA. Like, what would happen?
I'm interested in
That's
MDMA
what she
because
just
I've
did.
heard, like, this is funny, I heard Sam Harris say that if you meditate for hours and hours, long meditation session, you can potentially get a feeling which is identical to MDMA. I heard that, MDMA, sorry, and I heard that, and it made me want to try MDMA, when really it should make you want to meditate for several hours.
Yep.
That was when I was like, wow, really? You can meditate for hours and get that feeling? I'm going to try MDMA, see what that's like. I haven't tried MDMA, but I mean, it's kind of like, the psychoactive one's on my list of things that I would be open to trying, like, mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, I've done them, but like, at some point in my life, I'd be open to maybe trying them.
Definitely time and place. If it's somewhere controlled and you're around good people. But
I guess I'd do like heroin if I had like
Death wish.
Well, like I was dying, like if I had a terminal illness, I'd probably do. Outside that, I'd never do heroin, but I was dying anyway. If I had like terminal cancer, or if I was like 80 and like it's like shit, I'm not gonna do anything else really at this point. Very premature. No offense to 70-year-olds out there, but no 90-year-olds.
I think by the time you get, if you're fortunate enough, not you personally, but if somebody's fortunate enough to live to 90 years old, I don't think drugs would be attractive to them.
Why not? They've come this far.
Because they've seen everything, like, I think they're locked into what's real.
Have they seen a pink rabbit fucking eat a cake and dance in their living room?
Probably have.
Maybe. If they have, in which case, maybe don't.
If anyone's watching and you're 90 years old, let us know what kind of stuff you've seen. So yeah, that's Dave Schapelle Corby. Dave Schapelle, the comedian, is coming to Australia.
And I haven't bought tickets.
And they're gone. He was doing a show every, I'm going to say 3 days, for every capital city, so that's like 7. Then everything sold out in like 20 minutes. They booked him for a second date on every show, in every city. So that's 14 over like 16 days.
Wow, yeah.
And some of them is like 5 p.m. and then 9 p.m. So he does a show, chills, gets back up, does the same shit again.
Yeah, because a lot of entertainers that have that kind of schedule, Dave Schapelle he's not going to release it on video, is he? This round.
That's right.
Well, like after he kind of went, I didn't even go crazy, but after he had his kind of like anti-media, like being a public figure, go to Africa type thing.
Yeah. Since
then, he hasn't done a single movie. He's done a few TV interviews, but he has not released a special. And he apparently is like in between. He's done, I think he did like 2 or 3 out, maybe it was like a ridiculously long show at like the Comedy Factory or something in America. So he's got shitloads of material.
Yeah.
He's been writing and touring and gigging for the past several years.
Yeah.
Has not released. There's a few small clips you can get on YouTube of something he did at like Comedy Factory or whatever it was.
Yep.
But no specials, nothing aside from those small little clips that have been released publicly. And it's a shame because I didn't have the money at the time to spend the 90 or what was it, $90?
It was steep, yeah, that was like cheapest.
$90 ain't even that bad. But I mean, I just didn't have enough I wasn't comfortable spending an additional $90 at that point, and now I'm not going to get to see it. I should have just fucking taken the hit. Because he's one of my favourites. I mean, I think he's one of your favourites too.
Yeah, definitely.
We've talked more about Dave
Yeah,
Schapelle.
he's a very clever man.
Yeah.
But I kind of respect the fact that he's not, like, he could release a DVD and like flip it a million times.
It's such a, what does it matter if he doesn't have to like go and do press for it? Why can't he just release it for $5 like all the other people are?
Because I think
It sucks.
he's at a point where it's like, well, you come out and see what I have to say, or like lumber, don't see it.
What if I can see one shot and I can't say, I don't know.
I don't know. Having said that, I don't know if he's not making a DVD. So
He might, I hope he does, but I didn't get the impression he's not.
Or just GoPro sneak in there and bootleg it.
Wow, it's surprising that hasn't actually been done already.
Yeah, I actually saw some footage from it after he came back, and then he did some shows. It's probably the one that you were talking about, and and the crowd just wasn't feeling it. They were like, "Do Rick James bitch and shit," and he's like, and he was just.
Oh no, because I've seen people laughing. Like one is about man rape, one is about it's cool.
That was a different one.
Yeah.
But this one, like, they just weren't feeling him, and he's just like, he just sits down and just has a cigarette and just like, why are you coming here?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, the hecklers wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. I don't think they were saying Rick James bitch. They were just like they wouldn't stop sharing. And I know that seems like a kind of a bitch thing to get annoyed about. Like stop liking me so much, but they literally would not stop sharing. Right. And you just got sick of it.
Yeah.
You probably could have toughened it up a little bit, but I understand.
Is it kind of on the same line as cyberbullying? It's like a reverse bullying.
I think it's similar. It's similar to what we were talking about before. That he is probably overly sensitive. But I mean, everybody's different. I understand if Dave Chappelle's like that. I mean, personally, I would just come back, okay, thank you. I wouldn't get all like pouty and have a cigarette on stage, but I understand why you do.
Well, yeah, he kind of the script kind of flipped around when Facebook offered him 16 billion. How much was it? He was offered like 50 million or something.
Oh, for a show?
Yeah, to do another.
It was something crazy. I think it was definitely more than 20.
But less than 16 billion.
Yeah, it wasn't until these, man. But
so
it might have been. Shit, it might have been. No, it could have been 100 million. That's what they spent like on like
that's Oprah money.
Transformers film or something. But I mean, it was high. It could have well been more than 20. It could have been 50. I don't know. Well, we've got a computer now. We can Google it. How much? Wow. Speaking of Google, though, we actually are going to need to use that because 51 minute mark.
Yeah.
I think it's about time for
prediction. So, if you're not up to speed, the first two audio podcasts we had some predictions where we basically just fly off the handle and just say like, this is what we're going to.
We've talked about what has happened. Now we're going to talk about what we think is going to happen.
So, what was your prediction last time around?
I predicted that there was going to be an explosion of some kind in the Middle East.
Yep. And how'd that go?
It did happen.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is it documented?
Yeah, you need to look up explosion Middle East because I didn't bring you any with me.
Well, you keep talking because they can't see on screen.
So, yeah, like the first week I predicted that there would be a sex scandal involving someone in the royal family. You can listen to what we said. I kind of got it right, but vaguely.
Yeah, there's actually a few different explosions. There's a police base rocked by a deadly explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Car bombing kills top politician. So, yeah, alright.
Yeah.
And
What are the odds?
yeah, they stand up. Okay. So, good prediction.
Thank you.
There you go. Sometimes you just get a glimpse of the future and all you can really do is relay it forward.
The third eye was open and clear.
And so my prediction was that somewhere in the USA, somebody would buy an iPad.
Okay.
So let's see how I went with that one. I probably should have done some research on this.
iPad. Someone.
Woman buys new iPad. There you go. December 3rd.
No.
So no one's, according to this, no one's bought anything in 3 months.
I'm sorry, Kevin. You
What
can't go back in
fail?
time.
Well, who would think? A week, almost 2 weeks, no one has bought an iPad that's been documented on the first page search results.
Either that or the newspapers are shooting Slack and they're not following the important stories.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's one up to you. You're on the money and... Yeah.
You know. It's alright, Kevin.
Oh, I'll use it to, learn to hone my predictive intuition.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
let's have some predictions for what you think's going to happen before the next podcast, which will happen next week.
Yeah.
Prediction.
And may or may not be live. I'm going to predict that we have more technical issues. No.
If you do, I'll predict I'm going to throw the laptop out the window.
So, speaking of the laptop hammer in next week, we should actually check if they have got multifunctional. Maybe you can use webcam hammer on laptops.
I need to send them through some numbers from this show, like the reach and all that. So at the same time, I'll just ask them about their product range.
My prediction: Kate Blanchett just won an Oscar today, so I predict that Kate Blanchett's Oscar will be stolen by a 50-year-old woman and will be sold on eBay to a judge in Canberra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calling it.
Yeah.
Alright. My prediction, I see in 3 days from today, so the 6th of March, I see a hand glider, but it's going to be a one-of-a-kind new adaptation of the hand glider, which for some reason is it makes the headline. I can't see why, but this new hand glider, something that we haven't seen before, is going to be in the spotlight.
Will it be successful?
Yeah, well, it's going to get the news, so
Okay, yeah. So can't be
whether that's success or not, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not going to be like a suicide bomber hand glider. It'll just be like this. Look at this. This is a new hand glider.
Okay.
Yep. Calling it on the 6th of March.
Now, we said that the podcast would be an hour long, the web show would be an hour long. Do you want to try and fill out the next 4 minutes, or is it 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
Yeah, let's talk about, so we've got this tech happening of, we've got the audio down pat. Now we've got the audio and the video.
Yeah.
I would still like to get it happening as a live stream.
I would like that too, yeah.
And that way we can get some interaction.
But it shouldn't be a priority, we should get this streamlined and sorted out.
Yep.
First, and also, I guess this may be behind the scenes talk, but this video looks like it's decent quality. I know that the live feed is going to be choppy as hell. I'm fine with having a live feed that's choppy, but if that means that the video that we have to end up putting up after the live stream is going to also be choppy, then I don't think it's worth it. We need to.
I don't think it will. So the same quality that we get on this video, which we haven't really done much testing, the same quality of this video will be the on-demand video. So after it's live,
yeah,
this will be the same as this episode.
That's good. I can deal with that.
So if people want to tune in as the stream's happening, then they'll get a compressed version, and it's likely to be laggy.
Okay.
Which is just the nature of the beast. If we do it through a Google Hangout, it's going to be compressed considerably.
Yeah.
What I want to do is get it into this the YouTube Live platform, and that way it's going to be somewhere in between there. There won't be a noticeable lag, and barring technical issues, it should be easy to set up.
Okay,
So
and if there are technical issues, then at least we have webcam hammer. To help us.
I'm keeping it fucking by my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we suggest that you do too.
Yeah, check them out. Webcamhammer.com. And then I want to get these the interactions happening through tweets and what have you. We'll set up an email or whatever.
I have nothing against having a fan base, alright? If anyone watching wants to become our fan and follow us and participate, then that would be great.
The thing is, I think we speak our mind. We speak about, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not stepping away from any of my opinions or whatever. So if we're giving the real game recognised game, if someone sees it, fucking get on board.
Someone kills themselves, we'll brag on them. We're not afraid to.
Yeah, if you want to, well, yeah. If you've got a product you want us to wave around, I mean, Webcam Hammer just came up to us and said, check this out, it's perfectly fitting in what we wanted. So
all that we ask is that you have a good product that we can believe in, and that you pay us money.
Yeah, not in that order.
Yeah, no. Money definitely being.
I'm just playing around. This has been quite good.
Yeah. Wow, it's
We've had-
opinion. We'll have to see
We've had
what
hurdles,
the public thinks.
but I mean,
Yeah, more
tech-wise,
than
we had one audio cut out.
That was alright, and I think that actually kind of added to the experience, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Again, it made, like, I think I said this before, but it made us look authentic.
True.
You know, because you see, what's really going on.
True.
It seems like this is seamless and doesn't take any effort, but that's not the case, guys.
No,
That's not the
it's
case.
far from the truth. But it's rewarding. I mean, I'm happy that this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's a bit of hard work, but there's also a light at the end time.
Now we've got 30 seconds until it's an hour. Man, I guess it would be a shame to just, like, have it be just below an hour so we can keep padding a little more.
Yeah, so FIAWG, which stands for Funniness is a warmgun.com, is where you can find our home.
And it's COM, unlike our sponsors, which are KOM.
For legal reasons. And Twitter, I assume the handle's going to be the same. But
At Fiog, yeah.
yeah, now that we're
In
hashtag.
the
And we've got
meantime,
3 seconds, so let's get out.
Bye-bye.
Peace.